Christine Buihite died. There's a conversation with her that I just posted in live chat. I found out she died a few months ago. Problem is, unlike with many of the people who died, I didn't get any sort of verification. Um, Christine had a lot of the same issues that Natalie did with drug addiction. And a guy named Mike got a hold of me to tell me that she died. He had heard some rumors about me and wanted to know what I knew about her death. He was literally the first person that I heard anything from. I tried to get a hold of some other sources that are more reliable, and they didn't know anything. Her Facebook doesn't have a whole bunch of those, the rest in peace, Christine, stuff like that, like they did on Mobley's or on Natalie's. Christine wasn't young and pretty anymore, though. Natalie was. Natalie matters more to y'all just because of her age, just because of how pretty she was. Christine is what Natalie had to look forward to. A future of addiction, a future of destroying lives. Christine could be one of the most friendly people on the planet, but when she didn't get her drugs, she was nasty. Same thing with Kelly Henson. When she didn't get her booze, she was nasty. So I spoke with TJ today, just a few minutes ago. Well, I messaged him actually. I thought he was in prison. I'm glad he's not. Usually, when I find out about someone dying, I make this video immediately. But also, Christine had a history of pretending that she was dead, or having her friends tell everybody in town that she was dead so they'd just leave her alone. That's because she owed a lot of people money. Drug addicts, they don't necessarily do the most intelligent thing. Between somebody who's going to take advantage of them and somebody who cares about them, that person who wants to take advantage of them knows, if I have these drugs, I can take advantage of this person. Between turning one person in or the other, chances are pretty good she's not going to turn in her dealer. Someone else is going to have to foot the bill. Apparently, somebody gave Christine some fentanyl and she overdosed. They still don't know who did it. The guy who got a hold of me, his name is Mike Johnson. And I knew him. He used to be part of an artist cooperative at the north end of town there in Boulder. I don't really want to make this video a lot of my witnesses are dead. A lot of them. A lot of them did screwed up stuff because they didn't get what they wanted when they wanted. I needed help. And most of these people couldn't stop thinking about themselves for just 2 seconds. It only takes 2 seconds of not thinking about yourself, about thinking of another human being and the things that they're going through. 2 seconds to realize that that person is a human being too. And just like you need help, they need help. Most of the people I helped wouldn't lift a finger to help me. They might have before Natalie was killed, but afterwards it was a popularity thing. Christine Buihite, a lot of the evidence that I have is on her Facebook. She allowed me to have that Facebook so that I could speak out because when Natalie first disappeared, there were so many people that were just hell bent on destroying my Facebook and making sure I couldn't speak, making sure that my side wasn't heard when it made a difference. This shit is fucking horrible and nobody should have to go through it. On the bright side, Christine's dead. She doesn't have to go through it anymore. Her pain is over. No more of her loved ones are going to die and be able to hurt her in doing so. Don't get me wrong, we're all going to die. Every single one of us is going to die. But if you're already dead, what does it matter? You don't miss them, you're dead. Them leaving this earth doesn't hurt you because you done left this earth too. Depending on your theological standpoint or point of view. I believe that when you die, you're dead. I believe that the earth reclaims everything. And now we got mummies that are thousands of years old that have been found. They weren't reclaimed by the earth necessarily. We still have them in museums. Some of them were preserved by bogs or snow. And they weren't necessarily reclaimed by the earth. But it's very rare that something like that happens. Now with Christine, she didn't take an active role in her son's life. She chose her drugs over her own kid. Just like Natalie's parents chose drugs over their own kids. Just like my parents chose drugs over their own kids. Just like Mr. Franco's parents chose drugs over their own kids. What did Mr. Franco's family, Seth Franco, what did his family get for being horrible druggies who chose drugs over their kids? They got $3.2 million. What is Christine's son going to get? I'm living in hell because of rumors I was never allowed to defend myself against. My entire life was destroyed over my rights being denied. My right to defend myself against these predators, against people like Natalie Bollinger, against people like Tim Beeson, against people like Sheriff DaCosta. I'm also having to deal with the fact that the officers that I have to go to try to turn in my predators have shown that they're not going to. Investigator Woods with Nebraska State Patrol, I got a recording with him. He interrupts me frequently. You're not busy investigating if you're busy making excuses. If you were making excuses for my predators, you're not hearing the whole story. You're too busy interrupting me. Yeah, you are not going to help. You have already stated loud and clear that you're not going to help. You're not going to do your job. Christine used to be homeless. She was able to get into housing, and that's where she died. You'd think people would care a little bit more. Not so much. Christine did a lot of evil things to people. She's one of the people that I got made fun of a lot for forgiving as often as I did. We can't bring any of these people back, but we shouldn't have to shoulder the abuse. I take a lot of abuse because I did the right thing. Of course, no matter what I do, there's some excuse why it's wrong. Oh, you just need to love yourself. Oh, you need to stop thinking about yourself all the time. Oh, you just need to love yourself. Sean, you just need to take care of you. Sean, you just need to take care of you. Sean, you just need to take care of you. And then, Sean, why are you so selfish? Why don't you think about anybody other than yourself? Like, holy fuck. There's literally nothing that I can do. Just take punishment for the rest of my life. Never being allowed to defend myself, having to go to people who have shown that they're not going to do their goddamn jobs. I just want to state for the record, fuck this goddamn country.